There was more trouble for the former Army Chief General V.K. Singh, who was today asked by the Supreme Court why contempt proceedings should not be initiated against him after he questioned the Supreme Court on its views on his age controversy. Just to clarify, this is the old controversy where the general had taken the government to court after it refused to alter his official age, thereby preventing him from extending his tenure as Army Chief. In fact, the Supreme Court was quite direct with the general. They said General Singh's comments scandalized the judiciary.
More trouble for General V.K. Singh. Now a contempt notice against the former Army Chief for his remarks questioning the top court's decision in his age row. The Supreme Court has sought the General's presence in court on the 23rd of the month.
The top court says General V.K. Singh's comments scandalize the judiciary. Also, it tends to lower the authority of the Supreme Court. The show cause notice says why contempt action should not be taken against the general.
In 2010, General V.K. Singh took the government to court to prove he was a year younger than Army record showed. In February last year, the Supreme Court declined to intervene in General Singh's age row by saying that the general had accepted the government's decision in determining his date of birth as the 10th of May 1950, not once but 3 times, and he could not go back on his commitment. If General Singh had won, he would have been eligible for an extra year in office. Even as the general suffered a setback in the legal battle over his age, in Jammu and Kashmir uproar continues over his allegation that the army paid Jammu and Kashmir ministers to maintain peace in the state. The ruling party has moved a privilege motion against Singh demanding that the House summon him. The National Conference wants the former Army Chief to name the politicians involved despite his clarification that it was not a bribe but a part of Operation Sadbhavna.
All that I talked of when I said money was given to politicians was, or to NGOs, was never, I repeat never, for their political purpose, for their individual purpose, for lining their pockets, for bribes to them. It was meant solely and wholly for certain stability events which were organized by the intelligence units under the overall umbrella of Sadbhavna, to win the hearts and minds of people.
His sensational claims were rejected by 8 former army chiefs. They asserted that no funds were ever provided to any politician during their tenures and stressed that the army does not dabble in politics. But the big question remains, has the Supreme Court finally drawn the line on a politically savvy former chief who never thought twice before taking on institutions from the army to the government to the Supreme Court? With Arunachalam Vaidyanathan and Sudhiranjan Sen, Vishnu Shom for NDTV.